So you guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song. So here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. I only did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Be more of it. Alright, hi everyone, Martha here. So today we're gonna do some Daffy's cartoons. I pick 3. One, I've said to pick 3, I usually pick 2, but one was one of the worst cartoons out there, according to history, so I had to get one that one on my taste by watching another one. So we're one of the first ones of one that really doesn't really have much to do with Daffy, because it's a bunch of different ducks out for blood for corn against a bunch of chickens that Porky has, and this one's called What Price Porky, and it's basically a bunch of ducks fighting over the corn against some chickens that Daffy that Porky owns, and then it's kind of like imitating making fun of World War I, because they even call the land called No Man's Land like a rip off of a No Man's Land, and there's like they use like eggs to do bombs, bigger ducks to fly over and stuff like that, and poor Porky is caught in the middle of it, and he like uses like corn as a machine gun to shoot at them. Then he tries to get the chickens to react their corn and still, even after he has one of the ducks captured, and then they lay eggs and grabs the eggs, and showing that the chickens technically lost. So I do like it. I do like the fact that I think one of the ducks on here is played by Clarence Nance, because it sounds just like him. Like for one scene during it, I could have sworn like one of the ducks sounds like Donald instead. It's like, what the heck? Why we got Donald Duck cameo here? Hey Donald, you're in the wrong studio. Go back to Disney. If I want to get paid, I'll get paid. You might have to look like you. So yeah, and I mean, I found this one kind of funny. It was pretty good. So yeah, it's kind of hard to find though. Like, I totally understand, since it's supposed to be like propaganda, why it would be hard to find. You probably don't even have you probably can't find this probably on any DVDs now, because they're probably trying to hide it. Any new ones. So let's see who animated it. If you are able to find it, where would you find it? So it's directed by Robert Clampett. Also produced by Leon Sculptor, music by Carl W. Starling, animated by Chuck Jones, Bob Cannon, and Johnny Caring, Jerry Hatchen, Lizzie Ellen, Norman McKent, and this one came out February 26, 1938. So it was originally a black and white cartoon. They did a color edition in 1968, and then did a computer version, color version, in 1995. So let's see. This one is available on DVD for Dawn Patrol, Looney Tunes, Golden Edition, Volume 5, Disc 4, and Porky Pig 101, Disc 2. So yeah, so there's 2 different places you can watch it on. So let's see what the next one I'm going to do, which is the Million Hare, which is the one I probably was not going to watch, but I decided to, since that's one I'm saved for last, since this is the one I really didn't care for. So let's start with this one, and this is one of Donald Duck's and Daffy Duck's and Bugs Bunny's last appearance together in the Golden Era, and they're basically like racing to get $1 million to be in like a TV show, and they see who gets there fastest will be the one who wins. Because they Daffy was watching it on Bugs Bunny's TV and saw that there are the next detections on who to go and get the money. And we have like a bunch of tricks where Daffy tries to get on like a rowboat. Bugs puts it on, like ties it up, and so he would break the boat, and that way he can take Daffy's boat. And we have the whole trick where he tries to come with an avalanche, but the avalanche keeps on falls on him, and then he falls off a cliff twice, and Bugs says, "Yeah, I wonder if Daffy remembers that he could fly," or he says, "I wonder if Daffy can remember that he could swim." They'll reference the fact that, oh yeah, he's a duck, why doesn't he do that? But he forgot, apparently. And so they came pretty close, because Daffy something else flies in the air and hits Bugs and makes him go through a bunch of antique glass, and they all had to go to the hospital. And they were on Daffy's has a broken leg and he has to get there faster, and Bugs is in a wheelchair and they're getting back to the faster, and Daffy ends up winning, and he finds out it's 1 million boxes full with it's a big box that has many little boxes, and so he says, "Oh man, so it's not $1 million. So I'm gonna donate it to my best friend Daffy." And they tell him that each of the boxes has $1. So yes, it technically does have $1 million. And then we see Daffy with an animated head of a donkey. So yeah, because he feels like an ass. So I do like this card. This one's pretty funny. Let's see who animated this. Still same director as the last one, but different story. Dave D. Land. Remember, I'll be finding pictures of all these guys, since not every single one of these animators have pictures out there of themselves. And we also got it produced by Dave H. D. Patty. Mel Blanc did all the voices. Edited by Terry Brown. Music by Bill Lavant. Animated by Warrant Patchen, Tim Burston, George Granter, Kevin Darling, and special effects by Harry Love. Layout and background by Robert Ginsbert. And this one came out 1963. So the next one we're gonna do is probably one of the worst cartoons that Looney Tunes did. And see if we can do what I have to. It didn't pull up, so I have to get it over here, I guess. Since there was this era when Daffy was with Speedy Gonzales, and not many people liked that era of him, but it's still part of history, even if it's a cartoon that people rather forget. The way you don't make sure you relive history is by talking about it, so you don't repeat it. And this actually kind of does a good reference to what happens in this cartoon. So, this one's called See Ya Later, Gladiator. So, and this is basically like a time travel thing, where Daffy tries to send Speedy to 565 DC back into Rome. and we meet like Emperor Neo and the Gladiators, and they end up like having to deal with a lion. That Speedy tries to give him ghost peppers, and the poor lion like tries to spit it out because he says, I'm hungry still." So yeah, but tricks him that way, and they end up breaking Nero's chair, and Nero tries to chase them, and they have like this little part where they see a walk area, and they actually walk. Like when you're driving and you see, but you gotta slow down. You're at a school area. That's kind of what it reminded me of. And the guy who told him not to pull a chain comes back in the room because he's Daffy was being like a sweeper to the guy who's making a time travel machine, and he was out told not to pull the chain, but he couldn't handle Speedy making instruments, so he tried to get him around that way. But how soon when somebody tells you not to do something, how soon can somebody actually does it? Pretty fast, because it's kind of like a Chekhov gun situation, and that's what kind of the chain represent, the gun. And you can never tell Daffy not to do something, okay, until eventually he actually does it, because then he's not Daffy. And once that guy brings him back, and he brings back Nero back by accident because they were near each other, and Speedy decides to make Nero part of his band to annoy Daffy. So yep, and this one I can totally understand why some people don't like it. There's not that many laughs that can be happening in this cartoon, so I mean it still can count as funny. The only part I think was pretty funny was the entire walking thing. The rest of it, and probably the ghost pepper part. But those are probably the only parts that are funny. There's a lot more funnier scenes in other cartoons, and I don't know. I think the Speedy works better with like somebody like Sylvester, because since he's a cat, it makes more sense for like Sylvester to go after him instead of him be threatened by Daffy. Because why would Daffy care about a mouse? He's a duck. But I guess they were just trying to figure out for a while, what do we do with Daffy or Speedy? I don't know. I guess they were trying to find a way to be creative, but they're not really being. But let's find out who directed this sad cartoon. And that is not sad in a sad way, sad in a terrible way. But you know what I mean. Directed by Alan Lucy, story by Callan Hare, produced by William L. Hence, Mel Blanc does the voices, edited by H. Grist, music by William Lava, animated by Ted Bonnie Bixt, L. Burst, Harley, and Belle Jones, and Ed Solston, and layout by Bob Givens, Jamie Diva, background by Bob Adams. And this one came out June 29th. 1968, so I had to get this one out of my taste buds. So yeah, and the music that they had featured in here was Merry Go Around the Broken Down and Three Rings River. So yeah, so that's basically it, guys. So you guys enjoyed me talking about these stray cartoons. So that's all, folks. Bye-bye.